Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Thursday. I don't know the date, December something, but that's okay. COVID had got me real messed up on dates. Anyway, lately, when I've been doing devotional, we've been doing story time with Connor. First, starting out with building with the basics, then we went to story time with Connor. We will be continuing story time with Connor, but today I want to do something a little different. Because God has really pressed this specific thing to talk about to me. And when God tells you to do something, as we all know, you just do it. You don't ask why. You can ask why, but oftentimes He won't tell you, and then He'll just make you do it anyways. So, I was told, this has happened to me, but this specific instance I'm going to share this specific one wasn't me. I keep hearing this over and over and over again, and this last time I heard it, it just finally got to me. It was the feather that broke the camel's back instance, and it was of an elder in the church, someone who's been here for a long time. I use the term elder roughly, not as a titled position, but as somebody who is older than me and has been in the church for quite a while. Approaching a younger person. And when in the talks of discipleship, it always seems it's turned into, well, now that's your job. Pushing it onto the younger generation. Which is nice, because guess what? I love discipling. But it's breaking Jesus' commandment to us. He gives us a commission at the end of His life. At the end of His life here on earth. Matthew 28. It's the Great Commission. It's literally so important that it's called the Great Commission. And so I had to go back and I had to reread it, because as much as I thought I knew it, let's just read. Starting at 19, it says, 28:19, Matthew 28:19, it says, "Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit." And then it goes on and says, "Unless you reach the age of 45, in which case you can tell people younger than you to do it for you." Oh, wait. No, it doesn't say that. Sorry, let me reread it. "Unless it makes you uncomfortable, in which case you can just have other people do it." No, that can't be right either. Oh, okay, here it is. "Therefore, baptize them in the name of the Father and Son and the Holy Spirit. Unless you're a Duck fan and they're a Beaver fan, then you don't have to." What? No, you see, that's the problem, is we always want to come up with excuses of why we can't disciple. I'm white, they're black. I've had COVID, they haven't. I haven't, they have. I'm a Duck fan, they're a Beaver fan. I'm a Beaver fan, they're a Duck fan. I'm older, they're younger. I'm younger, they're older. But here, Jesus explains it very clearly that there is no excuse. If you were a disciple of Christ, that's us, everybody, then it is our job to go and make disciples of all nations, of all ethnicities. If they're in the poor part of town, if they're in the rich part of town, if they're in a gang, if they're not in a gang, to anybody who's listening in California, if they're a Democrat or a Republican, if they're young, if they're old, we all have to participate in this. We never get to back out. Ever. "Baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. Surely I am with you always." See, that's what's the important part. We don't do this because of our own power. This is where the uncomfortability comes in. Because guess what? Sometimes discipling is not easy. Sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes God pushes somebody on your heart to disciple, and you're like, why them? But you're not doing it with your own power. I don't disciple with Connor's power. I don't even disciple with Pastor Moose's power. I disciple with the power of Jesus. Right before this, I read you 19 and 20. Right before this, at the end of 18, he says, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me." And if you skip down, he says, "I am with you always." We do this with the authority, the full authority of heaven and earth backing us. I probably sound angry right now, guys, but but I'm just so passionate about this. I went through a program that's literally called the Master's Commission, and it is all about the Great Commission. It is all about going and just creating disciples. It is so important. And it's why we're seeing less and less Christians coming forth, especially people around my age. It's because we are not discipling. We're finding our own excuses to push it onto somebody else. Well, I haven't gone to Bible college. Well, I'm not the head pastor. Well, I'm not any pastor. It doesn't matter. That only matters if you're trying to disciple with your own power. If you're discipling under Jesus' authority, everything will line up. It might look a little weird, but it will line up. So that's what I have for you guys today. I want to reread this for you. I want you guys to meditate on this. I really want you guys to sit there, reread it, reread through all the words, meditate on the individual words and the verses and the power that comes behind this. I'm going to start at the end of 18, and it says, all authority in me and all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you, because surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. That is Matthew 28, starting at verse 18b, technically. The red letters. I just read the red letters, the part that Jesus said. Again, that's Matthew 28, 18. Please, folks, please, please, please meditate on this. Think about this. Pray on this. Because this is what Jesus has commanded of us. That's all I have for you today, guys. Remember, if you need prayer, you can contact anybody in this church. We love to pray in this church. I love to pray. Ashley loves to pray. Pastor Moose loves to pray. We all want to pray for you and with you. You could submit prayer requests, and we will go over them on Sunday mornings. But if you can't wait, don't. If you need prayer right now, don't ever hesitate. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you Sunday.